Welcome back, everybody. Listen to the Discus Lariat Collective podcast. I'm your host, Warren, here with Glenn today, and we are just going to do a quick kind of Smackdown preview. I know you said review. A Smackdown preview. Tonight, we have that Throwback edition. It's actually funny, they were calling it Go Back the past week or so, and then they've changed it to Throwback. I think it sounds better, but whatever. They've teased the old kind of 99 2000 Smackdown logo, which is pretty cool, with the black background and the white background on the top, stuff like that. So we're just going to kind of go through. Obviously there's only one thing actually confirmed for tonight, so we're just going to go through what we would like to see on a Throwback edition of Smackdown tonight. Before we get into that, if you're watching this on YouTube, throw a like on the video if you can, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then wherever you get your podcast, give us a follow there. Trying to get a website set up, doing the best that I can. I've never set up a website before or created one to begin with, so I'm gonna hopefully have that launched by Tuesday the latest. Any issues or whatever, I'll let you know, whether it's on the podcast or on YouTube or whatever. But exciting times. But
nice.
Right, so we'll get into it then. So the only thing confirmed for SmackDown tonight is one match: Cesaro against Seth Rollins. Regardless, two boys that can give you a banger there. Do you know what I mean? So looking forward to that. Anyway, it's a bit obviously it's a bit of a mad one, because you're like, oh, Cesaro's kind of being teased into the main event scene, so it was a bit mad to do the rematch now, but whatever. I'm all right with it. Don't really care, to be honest. It should be good. But in terms of the Throwback edition of SmackDown, there's been nothing else said apart from we're getting the Throwback edition of SmackDown and the logo. That's really it. So I thought it'd be cool if we just chatted about like what we would like to see. For example, stage design, ring design, legends, live via satellite feed, stuff like that. You know what I mean? A few other bits and pieces. But I suppose we'll jump straight into it, and I'll just say stage design. What do you reckon they're going to go with?
I'd say their introduction is going to be the very old one, not the Beautiful People one, but the very, very old one, you know.
Everybody on the ground.
Yeah, that's the one. I'd say we'll get that, but it'll have all the new people spliced in with like The Rock and Triple H and stuff. Mankind, I'd say we'll get that as like an intro. And then classic fashion, they'd be like, you know, welcome to SmackDown, welcome to this, you know, throwback, go back fucking edition of SmackDown. Straight away, I'd say we're probably going to open with promo. If it's not like a Stephanie or Trips promo, it might be a Roman promo. Just something playing on the fact that they got rid of Daniel Bryan. I'd say that's probably going to be an absolute key part of it, yeah. You touched on Cesaro and Rollins. I'd say we could likely get a Jey Uso run in on that match, Cesaro to go over clean, and then maybe if he doesn't pick up a mic, which not being bad toward him, hope he doesn't, hope he does all this talking in the ring. We could see Aleister Black return tonight after the promos we've been getting from him, which I would love to see. I'd love to see him go in and beat someone. Someone with a bit of credibility, someone that we can get a few minutes out of a good match, like showcase exactly what Black is about. And then in terms of legends, we might not probably get, like you were saying before the show, The Rock, but we could get some type of maybe video package or live via satellite. Every other person I seem to think about is synonymous with SmackDown, and its inception is now part of AEW. So
it's like Jericho and stuff.
Yeah.
When
so like other than Triple H or The Rock, I can't, like, or Taker, like it's you know, Mysterio and that, like
I'm the same kind of, like, I think like we top three SmackDown guys, I suppose. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously you have the SmackDown 6 that was like prevalent through, like, say 02, 03, 04, stuff like that. But again, two of them are dead, Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, they're gone. Chavo isn't around right now. Like, he could do like a live via satellite, or he could be there, I don't know. But again, he doesn't have that kind of star power that the likes of a Jericho would have. Or like, I do think tonight, I think we're gonna get Edge anyway. Edge was more of SmackDown was more of Edge's show. Back in the day. So I think we'll get Edge tonight. I don't know.
Jeff Hardy as well for a while. He was big on SmackDown.
Yeah, especially around 08, 09 and stuff.
When
he won the title and all. I think Edge, Jeff, would be pretty cool to even have some sort of moment with Edge. I think it'd be pretty cool. Or if they had a little exhibition match, I wouldn't mind it.
Be good. Jeff, I was thinking Jeff versus Edge would be great, but with how protected Edge has been on the wrestling front of things, we'll probably end up getting fucking Jeff versus Baron Corbin or something, or Corbin will be cannon fodder to the legends.
Yeah, it could be something like that, or we could even get Jeff and Edge together, and the likes of Michael Cole or whoever will bang on about, like, oh, these guys were in two amazing tag teams themselves. Let's see, can they coexist tonight together? Shit like that. And I think that'd be pretty cool. In terms of legends, though, I can't see many being there in person.
Can you imagine if Edge and Jeff won the tag team championships? Oh, I'd mark out.
Oh god, that's the thing. It's one of them things. Like we always go on about tag team wrestling, how it's a joke, and then they're like, "Oh, but if Edge and Jeff won, it'd be amazing." But it's true.
Yeah,
though.
but like I'm fairly certain they're among the only kind of individual blocks of that era that didn't at least team together and win something with it. Like
true, yeah. But I can't imagine there being a lot of legends there. I think Triple H will come out. He might maybe talk about like big moments he had on SmackDown or something. Do you know what I mean?
Probably get thing like Road Dogg and X-Pac or something maybe.
Yeah, could do.
Something basic like.
I'd like if they did a few like live via satellites. They were mad for it in the early 2000s, and I think it'd actually be pretty cool. Like even if you get a few of the boys on Zoom, say the likes of The Rock or something like that, give them like just ask them. Like I'm sure they've asked people throughout the week, to be honest with you, or else they flew people in who are going to be there. I'm sure they've got them to clear their schedule for 5 minutes at least. So it'd be pretty cool to see that. Like, and The Rock obviously that's his show. You know, it's basically after the chap. So yeah,
I'd like to see something, even if we got John Cena. I know he's been quite busy now. He's been on TV and he's been doing his movie and that, but he was obviously post Rock era and post fucking Lesnar era, and we're not getting Lesnar back, so something from him would be pretty cool. Just, I don't know, add a bit of star power to it, because whenever Raw gets an anniversary show, fucking every other person from the 80s and 90s and your Hogans and everyone is always all over it. Like, but like for a lot of us growing up at least, SmackDown was probably the preferred show. I definitely, even when Raw had Goldberg and Shawn Michaels and Triple H and, you know, all the big names, SmackDown was still the one that I watched every week.
Yeah, same. SmackDown was just way easier to watch back then, even when you actually think about it. I wasn't getting Scott Steiner on the show constantly,
which is always a pleasant experience.
But
you know,
yeah, I think in terms of stage design, it's only going to be a toss up between two of them, isn't it? The Ovaltron or the Fist.
Fist has to be the Fist.
The Fist.
We got the Ovaltron before.
I'm
fairly certain we did on an anniversary edition. I think it was the 10-year, 15-year.
Yeah, I think it was the 15-year. I think because the 10-year they had the big X, and then they kept that for a year or two. Yeah, so I think it was the 15-year they did do the Ovaltron. So crack that Fist out of storage and bang it up there. I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, and hopefully we'll get Kevin Owens jumping onto Sami Zayn or some variation of that.
Yeah,
hopefully, if we're really lucky, Shane McMahon won't be anywhere near the show.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's all we can hope for.
Please don't let him there. Like, get Vince to jump off something like he showed the Gronk one of the manias there.
Yeah. I suppose, in terms of, like, so that's all out of the way then anyway, but in terms of actual what we reckon will happen on the show, as you said, the likes of Cesaro, we might see him go over, Seth Rollins tonight. Aleister Black, I know on Instagram a while ago, he teased part 3. Whether or not he's going to show up or not is a different story, but another kind of tarot card yoke, the way the vignettes have been going. I'd like to see him show up, to be honest, even if he's just there and doesn't even get in the ring. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of stand there watching a match or something like that would be pretty cool.
Very Sting-esque.
Yeah, I think we might get a tag title match just to kind of add a bit more to the show. Whether or not the titles change hands, I don't think it really matters. I think it's more so like, oh, we also have a title match, just to let you guys know. That's one thing that annoys me about WWE though, is the fact that, I'm just going to say AEW do it really well. It's the fact they announce everything that's going to be on the show. And then, I know some people might say, oh, well, then you won't tune in for this, that, and the other. It's like, they're not necessarily telling you the order of it. Do you know what I mean?
No,
they're just
telling you
what's happening.
Will be. Yeah.
And I think WWE could actually benefit from that. They used to do it years ago. I remember knowing what was going to happen on a Raw about a week before it. Do you know what I mean? They'd have 3 or 4 matches at least ready.
They'd constantly be plugging it, like make sure to use the hashtag and, in the early 2010s and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I know we're not supposed to be drawing comparatives all the time, but even if it can be given 10 seconds for it, AEW's weeklies have been consistently smashing out of the park. Not because they're doing everything great. WWE will still always have bigger moments on their shows most of the time, but they just get a lot less wrong. Like, every single weekly show will be opened consistently good. Whereas how many times have you watched in the Raw SmackDown, you nearly get an identical match or an identical promo?
Yeah, dead right. Yeah, and I think we do need that kind of shake up, and I think tonight would actually be a good chance to do it, because it's that throwback episode. It's all right. It's not going to be by the book. That's the way you would think. Now, obviously, WWE probably will do it by the book, but I'm saying it would be the perfect time to do that, kind of shake stuff up like that. Like, you know what? We're going to have, say, this particular promo to open the show, and then we're going straight into this type of match, and then even get Michael Cole on the mic, like on his headset, and be like, on tonight we have this, and confirm 3 things off the bat. Just so you're invested already, because I'm excited to see it, and I think it's mainly just the stage design and see what the ring is like. That's really it. But I am excited though.
What are the odds? I just popped into me. What are the odds that we end up getting multi-man interference and change the main event to a tag team match with like Uso, Zayn, and fucking Rollins on one side versus like Owens and Cesaro? You know, like what if I imagine they'll do something like this to big up the feel of it or something. I don't know why that's popping into me.
That's a great shout. In fairness, they usually do stuff like that, especially like say the likes of a week or two before the pay-per-view. They're mad for it as well. They'll be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, here's all the boys that were involved in particular matches over the past 6 years. Let's put them all together for a minute. Yeah, it could happen. But I think there'll be a tag title match. I don't know why, I just have that weird gut feeling it's going to be a tag title match. Rollins and Cesaro. We'll get a Reigns promo. We'll see Edge. I would like to see Edge even have some sort of match, but I don't think he will. That would have been advertised. And I would like to see Aleister Black, obviously, but
can't really draw much else out of it, can you?
No, because that's the problem when there's nothing kind of advertised. Yeah, it's hard, really, isn't it? But I am looking forward to it.
Just see AJ Styles on the show. He's a more recent kind of mainstay of SmackDown, although he's been on Raw now. But the whole SmackDown's the house that AJ Styles built and all. Like
that'd be whopper. Him coming out against Edge.
Yeah, like if I think about the modern versions of like, oh yeah, you had your Rock, Austin, Triple H, Mankind era of SmackDown, then you had your Lesnar Angle era, and your Guerrero, Benoit, Edge, Rey Mysterio, Taker era. For me, it feels like it's well. I remember me Kevin Owens and me AJ Styles and me Dean Ambrose era. Like that's straight away what me draft mind is associating with it now. Like
it'd be a great shout to bring Becky Lynch back tonight as well.
Wonderful! Yeah, wonderful.
Great shout.
Injected a fresh breath of air into the women's division now.
Yeah, and plus obviously she's clear to go, I'm sure. Like, do you know what I mean? And they've been teasing it for a while now, and it's been going around, I suppose, the dirt sheets and stuff. So it'd be perfect to just you have, say, even if you're doing a promo part where you'll have, say, Triple H and Edge and a few other kind of old school kind of guys, and then maybe the likes of a newer kind of guy, as you said, AJ coming out and be like, oh well, I built this place, stuff like that. And then you have Becky Lynch music,
the first SmackDown Women's Champion, like.
Exactly, yeah, comes out and be like, look, I did this, I put the women's title on the map in this place, so it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, and then the likes of, I suppose, other legends, Lita, Trish, stuff like that, they're always kind of knocking about. You might see them. I don't think so, personally.
No, they usually rely on a lot of male star power for the SmackDown stuff. Like it used to always be, you know, Triple H, The Rock, Big Show, Mankind. Like those were and Taker. Like those were just the names that were synonymous with SmackDown in the early days. Like
yeah, true. But yeah, I suppose that's really it. We can't really preview much else on it. But yeah, overall, like what would you say your excitement level is on a scale of 10?
Like me excitement level for SmackDown never goes above an 8 anyway. So I'd say a 7 to be fair, because like nothing all year in terms of SmackDowns have ever really made me go, oh, I have to tune into that. It's usually the night after when I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm probably at 7 as well, just mainly because the throwback title on it. And the fact that they don't have, like on the Raw, say Throwback, they have 1,000,001 legends that don't do anything, they stand in the ring. Do you know what I mean? They don't have that. They don't have that luxury this year because of the pandemic. Do you know what I mean? And they don't have. You can't really bring in all
30 years of Raw. They don't have 30 years of SmackDown. Like,
exactly, yeah. And all the SmackDown lads, as we said, they're kind of not really around anymore. So it would be cool. It would be cool to just rely on kind of your actual show tonight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it though overall. But yeah. Probably a 7 out of 10 for me as well, I'd say.
Mark Henry to make his return.
There you go. I would be happy enough, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. The chap is in magnificent shape. I'm not sure if you've seen him. Yeah, fair balls to the chap. Him coming out in a salmon suit, teasing his retirement once again, and then absolutely cripples Edge. I don't know.
It was John Cena. Yeah.
No, I know that. Yeah, I was just saying if he does it today or tonight.
Oh man, it'd be even better if we just legitimately are like, oh yeah, we're not going to buy into that, and then he actually leaves. And then Edge is in the main event or something, like, and then all of a sudden it's like Edge and Cesaro versus Rollins and Uso, and you're like, oh cool, and then Mark Henry shows up there. Superman slams. I'm now part of the Samoan dynasty.
Imagine that, Jesus, yeah, that's an absolute clusterfuck, to be honest, but I wouldn't put past them to be creative anyway. But we will leave it there anyway, because there's not much more to kind of preview. That's just our kind of thoughts on it and what we're kind of expecting or what we'd like to see. It was a great shout though with the intro that you said as well, like with the old school, everybody on the ground showing, new guys mixed in on the video, and it'd be pretty cool if they had. Do you remember when you used to walk down to the ring, they'd have the logo down the bottom of the screen, SmackDown logo with their name? or if they were going, say, 02 to 06 SmackDown, the box to the left-hand side and it'd smash, do you remember? And then the picture.
Oh, yeah.
Deadly.
When you had like Matt Hardy started that, I'm pretty certain.
Oh, I think he did, yeah. Matt Hardy version 1 with the facts.
Because he had the L-shaped thing come in and it was like the fact sheet, and then there was like Matt Hardy, you know, like 5 foot whatever, and it'll give you all the stats, like, you know.
And then it'd have that weird fact, like it'd be a change every week. And it was like Matt Hardy only used the stainless steel cutlery. Matt Hardy got Matt Hardy got more Halloween candy than Jeff every year, stuff like that. So
we just get Matt Hardy on the show.
I wish. I wish. It would actually, tonight would have been a perfect time to have like a little Hardy Boys reunion as well, but whatever. But yeah, we'll leave it there.
Oh,
so yeah, that's just a quick kind of preview of what we'd like to see on the throwback edition of SmackDown tonight. Yeah, so we'll call it quits here. If you're watching this on YouTube, as I said, drop a like on the video if you can, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then yeah, wherever you get your podcasts, give us a follow on there, and then on the socials, This Is Hilaria on Twitter, This Is Hilaria Collective on Instagram, and then until next time, see you later.